to look back at the last Forge FC contest.
Simply stunning stuff! And finally, their goal!
Here is Match and Review.
My word, what a rocket!
With Anthony Urciuoli on the Forge Audio Network.
Hey Forge fans, it's the Forge Audio Network. I'm Anthony Urciuoli. This is Jess Lisi. And we just witnessed heartbreak for Forge FC, and Forge fans played an amazing game, deserved a better result, but ultimately dropped the match in penalties to Toronto FC, who are now champions of the 2020 Canadian Championship Final. When the game plan goes the way you want, when you're dominant on the ball, and the result just isn't there in a big match like this, it takes time to get over a loss like that, but also you have to feel good about the effort.
Yeah, for sure. It definitely is the hardest way to lose in PKs. It's heartbreaking when, in this case, they really dominated the entire game, and then in the end, you lose. It's something like PKs. It's just not the best way to go. So they definitely dominated. I felt in the second half they really took advantage of that flank. Both the wingers really took their space. They created a lot going forward. The final third could have been slightly cleaner, but overall, Borges had a fantastic finish, very good composure, great strike of the ball. But yeah, overall, I definitely thought Forge was the better team.
When you get into penalties, when you're taking a penalty, do you know what you're doing going in? Do you have a plan already? Are you looking at the goalie at all, or is it this is what I'm doing and I'm just keeping my head down and going in with a plan?
For me personally, I always had a game plan going in. I always went the exact same way. I never switched it up. I never wanted to psych myself out. Sometimes you get too caught up in the moment.
Right.
You put all that pressure on your shoulders. You get psyched out by the keeper. Sometimes it's as simple as their eye contact that throws you off. So definitely going in with the plan is always great. It helps you calm down in that moment and really stay focused. So I definitely think a lot of the men going in tonight, they had a game plan going into the shot, but sometimes it just doesn't go your way.
And for Borges, he misses the penalty, which he's upset about, but he comes back and scores. So do you think, are you still thinking about that penalty after, or do you think at least I got to redeem myself a little bit?
I think if you're a quality player like Borges, you'll always be hard on yourself regardless of what you've done great. So I think he might, be focusing on that, but at the same time, he can't dwell on it. He did do great afterwards. He created a lot for Forge in that final third, and again, he scored that goal to allow them to get back into the game. So I think at the end of the day, he can't be too hard on himself.
All right, and let's go down now. Head coach and technical director of Forge FC, Bobby Smirniodis, is at the microphone.
Yeah, you could say at least we played our game. I think at least we're the dominant team on the field for 90 minutes. The guys were excellent tactically, were very good. I don't know what the shot count is, but if you look at the chances both on goal and off the goal, especially in the zones we were getting at, it was a very good performance from the guys, and I just talked to them and they have to be proud of it. It's going to be tough for this evening, but you perform like this, you win a lot of games. That's for sure. It stings in the end the way the result goes. But that's the cruelty of this beautiful game. That's why we love it, and that's why I think for a lot of people who were sitting in the stands today, I think they walk away from here being quite entertained. And it's a great night for Canadian soccer. Obviously not what Forge wanted, but I think we have to look at it sometimes in a bigger picture. And I think you've seen two clubs out there who played football, two clubs that play their brand of football. We stuck to our football, and as a neutral, you don't know what the difference in the teams are.
Go ahead.
Charlie, CPL. Bobby, can you just speak to a little bit about how you go down early in the first half and 2 minutes later you've equalized and you've got control of the ball again? Just speak to how impressed you are with your team's ability to get back in that.
Yeah, the biggest thing we talked about is whichever way the game goes, we have to stick to what we originally have talked about. Whether it goes well to start, whether it doesn't go well, or even in the run of play of the game. Whoever scores first. The biggest thing is you have to stick to what you're good at. A lot of times when things aren't going well in a game, players, have the tendency, and teams have the tendency of going away from it. It's one thing that I'm trying to instill even more in the players is stick to what we do. If 95% of training we do certain things, why are you going to change that 50% of the time in the game? 95% of the game, do that. That's what's going to give you success. And I think that's what the guys are doing a lot more of, and that's what they stuck to tonight. And I think tactically, we read the game well. The guys executed it very well. The first 25 minutes, TFC was in the diamond, so we had prepared for a diamond and in a 3. And I thought we were dominant while they were in the diamond because the guys did excellent getting into the right zones, and then we did the same thing once they switched into the 3. So I thought the guys were brilliant on that end. again, we've created a lot of opportunities. This one is it's a tough one because we've done everything to win out there.
And then just maybe a follow-up on the midfield. You spoke about it after Edmonton, but getting Abu and Kyle there together, can you speak about how they were able to kind of control space in this game?
Yeah, I thought they were very good just in their movements, their pressing points, and then certain things. Abu is a very good midfielder. We've seen him playing especially in the past in this league in that type of role. In his university career, he was a midfielder. Comes in here and he's playing right back, and everyone forgets about how good of a player he is, and he's one of the best right backs too in the league while he's doing it. We've slotted him back into midfield, and it's very good. And that's another talking point today too. It's we look at guys like Janssen, who everyone will think he's a center back, but he's a center back because he has to play center back these days. And then Malik's been fantastic. I may be wrong, but it may be his third game as a professional player, and 2 of those have been against CF Montreal and 1 against Toronto FC. He's just turned 20 years old. His future is bright out there, along with many others.
One thing, if we got to take in this match from a fan's perspective, we were in the stands, we took in the atmosphere. The league started so well in that first year. Fans were on board. COVID slowed things down. They played in the bubble for those 2 years. This is an opportunity to get fans back, maybe fans that hadn't seen Forge in a couple of years, or maybe they've never seen a soccer match in Hamilton. On a positive side, in a bigger picture, as Bobby said, it was a good show. And for a lot of fans, you're going to want to come back because the quality was on display tonight. Yeah,
the energy was great. It was unmatched. It was a great atmosphere to play in, not only for the players to actually play in, but for the fans to really be around it. It was a great energy and great environment. All right, and Tristan Borges, the goal scorer for Forge FC, is on the mic, and let's hear what he has to say.
I think that was a goal that obviously we deserved. We were knocking at the door for quite a while. Obviously I had a PK that I missed, but it is what it is, just tried to move on from it. But like I said, I think it was just, we all knew that we deserved a goal, and it was just about just keep going. Right? We had a great first half, so just keeping that mentality, keeping that momentum going into the second half. I think it was easy. We had good energy throughout the squad. We had a good morale going into the game, obviously. But I just think once we got settled into the game, I think everybody's confidence went up. And for us, it was just about to, it was going to happen, right? So for us to just kind of stay mentally prepared for when it does happen, just to stay switched on.
Thank you very much.
Go ahead.
Tristan, it's I guess kind of a familiar feeling to have a game end like that, but probably a lot to be proud of from that performance, right?
Yeah, it's tough. It is what it is. Nothing more than I can, the only thing I can really say is just that I'm proud of the group. Like I said, in the past couple times I've been up here and having to talk, it's been a lot of ups and downs already in the beginning of the season, but for us to bounce back the way we've been doing is unbelievable. All the credit is really going to the team right now, and whether I score or whether I don't, for me it's just if we can win. I think everybody kind of knows that's how I am, right? But the game's over with. It's gonna sting for quite a while just knowing how it ended. I think we deserved a little bit more, but very, very proud of the guys. I could sit up here and just continuously say that because you watched the game, you saw what we did, and just for us to keep the momentum going into the season. We have important games.
All right, so Tristan Borges, the goal scorer, was subbed off, so he couldn't take a kick in penalties. The positive, though, is Forge can now focus on the league. They have no more Canadian Championship matches, no CONCACAF. It is strictly CPL, and they face a big test against first place Pacific. So next match for Forge at home next Sunday, 4 o'clock, Pacific FC. Huge test for Forge, and a game like this can at least build some confidence. When you can outplay an MLS club, you have to feel pretty good going into your next match against Pacific, I would think.
Definitely. They should definitely feel confident going into the next match, bring everything they did tonight, stick to the game plan, and just bring the same energy. All
right. Jess Lisi, I'm Anthony Urciuoli. Plenty more to come for you on the Forge Audio Network, so stay tuned for that. We'll talk to you soon.
We are the Forge, the mighty, mighty Forge. You just don't think you understand.
This has been Match in Review with Anthony Urciuoli on the Forge Audio Network. For the latest on all things Forge FC, subscribe on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts. This has been Match in Review with Anthony Urciuoli on the Forge Audio Network. For the latest on all things Forge FC, subscribe on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts.